Would you feel safer with a woman driving your taxi? This is Dawn. She's just started a female taxi service in Stirling.
The taxi rank and taxi drivers have been male dominated for like so long, and there is a handful of females that will work the rank through the day, but there's not a female that will work at night in the
Yeah.
rank. So I didn't realise, I knew it was needed, but I didn't realise how badly needed it was, just for the likes of people feeling safe, females in particular. There's obviously a lot of stories goes about. Unfortunately, it seems some of them are true, some of them probably not so true, like Chinese whispers. But yeah, it was just a massive gap in the market. Because people will say, customers will get in and they'll say, "Oh, do you know, how do you feel safe?" And I'm like, actually, it's fine,
Yeah.
totally fine. It's not the customers that, it's not the customers that I've had an issue with, or they've had an issue with me. The feedback's been amazing. A lot of guys will go, "All right, mate," and it's like, oh, it's a female. Oh, it's a female. So they're just like, it's so unusual to see a female,
At
never
night.
mind a female at night in the rank. I absolutely love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Generally, everybody's brand new. Even people intoxicated or whatever, absolutely no problem. It's obviously a tough industry. I've been in the door 5 minutes. A lot of these guys up in Stirling have been doing it like 10, 12, 15, 20 years. Extremely tough times for them, especially with the situation at the moment. With roadworks, and then you've got Station Road, and there's so many plates being given out and things. As I say, I'm in the door 5 minutes, but I feel for these guys that's been doing it for years. But I generally do quite well, probably because I'm female and because of the kind of stigma with people don't want ripped off, they don't want to go the long way round, they want to have a conversation with the taxi driver, they want to be able to understand the taxi driver without being derogatory towards anybody. And also, I think just in general, just a totally different conversation, because obviously all these guys that's been doing it for years, I mean, they've done amazing, Ken, like they've been going for years, their companies has been going for years, but it's difficult times, especially if you're sharing your, like working for somebody.
50-50.
50-50. Like what I get is mine, and that was the whole point of it. I got to a certain age, things happened in life, and I was like, do you know what, I could do this. I never went out to change or make history, but it seems that there's not really been a consistent female in the rank at night.
Yep.
And I'm quite proud of it and how kind of what I've achieved and stuff, but I wouldn't have been able to do it hadn't it been for my friend who helped me and guided me and supported me, and he kind of makes sure that, like if he's in the rank on a Saturday night, that he's on the end of a phone and stuff like that, just in case there is a situation. It was when I started working the ranks, because there's 2 ranks in Stirling. One's under kind of like roadworks and stuff with replacement windows and things, and the other one in Station Road. That's where your bigger, better hires come in mostly, because it's coming off the train. So there's quite a, how would you put it, a need and desperation for a lot of drivers to get in that rank, and they've all got radios to radio each other to get who they want in the rank. I'm not part of any of that. I don't want to be part of any of that. So between the roadworks and the radio situation, council can't do anything about that. I've just got to do what I can. However, I've been lucky because I can be in the rank at any point, anywhere. And obviously the general public can go to any taxi they want now. They don't, it's not, it used to be when I was growing up, it was gentleman's agreement, you went to the first taxi.
The first one in the queue, yep.
Not now.
All right.
Not now. After COVID, and a lot of plates were given out and so on, and it is the way it is,
Right.
it just became a free-for-all. So yeah, and you could take from the back and stuff like that. That's what they call it, I think. So that's the only kind of, that's how I've learned. So that's what happens. But I was like, do you know, I could do this. Like, maybe I could, and I could be self-employed. I know, it was just basically the opportunity came up and I grabbed it. I'm kind of in the background. I just like to be like quiet on the QT and everything. But folk will get in the taxi for the rank and they're like, "Oh, are you the Stirling female taxi?" And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, "Oh, that's brilliant. Aye, and my sister and this and that and my mum." So aye, the feedback's been amazing. Even for guys, aye, really good. No, brilliant. And I really appreciate that. If I can make a difference or make a, like, two girls get in the taxi and they know that the doors are not going to be locked or they're not going to get ripped off or the fare's going to change halfway through, saying, well, actually it'll be 60 quid, you're due me for a 10-minute up the road. That's what's happening. It's definitely a case of women have reported especially that they'll get off 2 doors down from their address. They will walk, because you can go to any taxi, obviously. They'll walk to different taxis, maybe that they've used in the past, that they know of. Everybody knows their fare, what their hire should be, for how long they should go. I encourage people anybody that gets in the taxi, I encourage them to pay with cash so that the card details are, and that nothing's going to happen with that. But as I say, females have been like, "Oh, I've been on the phone to my husband or my partner or my friend when I'm in a taxi," because it just doesn't feel right.
Doesn't feel safe.
Shouldn't be the case.
No,
if you're
it's,
safer walking home than getting a taxi, there's something far wrong with that, do you know? As I say, and it's different for me. I'm in the game 5 minutes, thoroughly enjoy it, love it, can't see myself doing anything else. However, the guys that's been running their own businesses 10, 15, 20 years, it's hard times for them as well, because they've been doing it and then all of a sudden the dynamics have changed. We can all work together, we can all be, but it just seems to be that it's, if people are feared to take a taxi, it's going to finish it, do you know?
So how do you hope to see this evolving and growing over the next year or two? Obviously, trying to onboard more
Love
taxis.
to be a millionaire, but I think if I can try and encourage females to come on board and work along the rank with me at night. I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, couldn't you deal with drunk people and stuff like that?" But generally, the customers just want home.
Yeah.
If somebody wants a taxi, they want a service off you, they'll generally be brand new. And they're like, and if I think there's a bit problematic, I would just say, "Listen, just go to the next taxi." I'm allowed to do that. And obviously the taxis are all cameraed and stuff like that. But I would like to bring on another couple of females, etc. Owner drivers. They can work off the phone or work, that would probably need to be private hire due to the plates and stuff. But they could also get a shot in my taxi and then work the rank as well. But yeah, eventually that would be nice. And it would maybe balance the books and maybe make it a safer environment for people, especially when they are intoxicated or whatever, On the Facebook page, I try and say, the difference between a private hire car. Private hire car can be any colour, but it should always have its plates. A general plate, you've got to have a white or silver car, and maybe taxi or whatever. But it was just, it was horrendous. Don't get me wrong, there is, as I say, there's female drivers, a handful up the town, and they'll maybe work the rank and stuff like that. But it seems to be that it's just through the day that they do. I get it. Always look and make sure it is a taxi. Or pre-book your taxi if you can. Obviously go with the company that you're used to or has been recommended. Obviously I'm just me, so I can only do so much. However, hopefully, and again in the future, that'll change. And if the car can be double shifted, and I've always got a female out there, But yeah, always make sure that your taxi's plated, you know who's picking you up, you know where the taxis sit. Just do a bit of research before you go out, really. And if you can stay together when you're out, you know, but again, it's not, it's because obviously the situation we're in, it's, a lot of these guys are totally brand new. Everybody just keeps theirself to themselves kind of thing, which is fine. Everybody's there to earn a living. It's your workplace. But yeah, females that are going out, it's always try and keep your wits about you. Make sure you know your route home, and you know you're a bit compass mentis and stuff like that. And obviously, if you know, we can bring on more female drivers to work the rank at night, and we can kind of bridge that gap for females especially. But I've had parents in the car saying, do you know what, I'd love my sons to, because I know that they would feel safer. And I've had married couples in the car, or couples, and the gentleman has said, I actually feel safer, do you know? So, you know, and it's not that because you're being derogatory towards anybody or racist or anything like that, because the majority of them are brand new. However, things are happening, and it has to stop. I've had people in the cars, whether it's they've been ripped off halfway through the journey, it's been, oh no, it's just cash I take and it's £60 rather than £30, things like that. Or if they go to use the sum up machine, instead of maybe £6, it sits at £46. That's happened, that's been reported in the taxi. I had a girl who was in the taxi, and her she actually was in she was in a taxi. I'm not sure which company or plate or driver, but she was in the taxi, had to phone the actual company and say, look, he's trying to rip me off, or you know, I'm no feeling it, etc, etc. But absolutely report it into Stirling Council, maybe email it in and telephone it in, whatever.
A lot of the cars automatically lock as well when you get in. Is that just to make sure you pay before you leave, or is it just?
It's no nice. Yeah, it's no nice. You know, it's inappropriate conversations about, did you get a boyfriend tonight, or did you get kisses tonight? I've had that in the taxi, and I don't know, some students maybe just laugh it off, but it's not funny. If somebody's not feeling safe, I had somebody the other week and they were going to Forth Valley. I was taking them up to the hospital. It was a student late at night, and she says, yeah, I was up a couple of weeks ago and they went up a lane. And you're just like, wow, it's still happening, it's still going on, it shouldn't be. But again, it's the boys that's been doing it for years. It's so sad. It's like, wow, it's tarnishing the whole kind of taxi trade, Ken. As I say, I'm just one, but these boys that's been doing it for years, it's tragic for them, eh? Maybe a wee bit intimidating at first and stuff, but yeah, I kind of get left alone. But as I say, I had 3 at me one night, and I was just like, no, enough's enough. I can't. I shouldn't need to take this. But yeah, it's quiet and doing that now, because I'm not out to take anybody's customers, and I love it. I love what I do, and if I can make a wee difference, then happy days. Do you know? Especially for females, Ken. But again, it's not about females, it's about everybody just feeling safe. And the taxi trade keeping it going, Ken, with all the boys that's been doing it for years. Because you take your hat off to them, it's obviously been a hard game, Ken. Especially when the likes of the taxi ranks are the way they are. But I suppose work's got to be done, and that's it.
Yep. For Dawn, it's more than just a taxi service. It's about giving people peace of mind